Hi there! This video is a how-to play Crystallize by Lindsey Stirling, and I'm going to go through it very methodically and slowly to hopefully help you learn how to play it. I would highly encourage you to purchase the sheet music and to have that with you when you're going through this video. Because it will be really helpful to see all of the notes. There's a lot of notes, it's 2 pages long. And so we're going to begin. So first I'm going to play the first part, which is what this video will be on. And then in the following videos there will be the following parts. So here's the beginning. Okay, so that's how much we'll cover here on this video. So at the very beginning is a tremolo, and if you're not familiar with tremolo, it means to just play unmeasured, so you're not going to count the number of notes or bows. It's going to be as fast as you can and very tiny bows near the tip, like you're trembling. Okay, and so we're going to do that for however many beats the note length is. So the first note is an F. It could be played with a low one on the E string. I'm going to play it on the A string. So to do that, we're going to play in third position. If you're not comfortable getting there, here's how you can do it. You'll put your third finger on the A string to play a D. Then you'll replace your third finger with your first finger. Should sound like the same D. Your second finger is an E. And your F is your third finger, and it's right next to the E. That's the F, it matches. So, once you find the note, we're going to do a tremolo for 7 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we're going to change to our E for 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to change to our D for 3.5 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so as soon as you get to the 4th count there, you can lift your bow and prepare for the next note. Now, one option if you want for a sound effect, because Crystallize is the video, you'll see Lindsey Stirling in the ice sculptures. So if you want to kind of go for a sound effect that's kind of an icy sound, you can move your bow from where you would normally play a tremolo towards the bridge. And if you keep your bow pressure very, very light, you'll get kind of an icy sound. So that's an option. If you like it, you can do it. If you don't like it, then you can just play it where you normally would. Alright, and now we're going to go on. So the melody here is in third position still. So we're going to use our 4th finger to play the G, and that's where we start. Here's that first little part. Okay, so you'll notice I played the slur from the G all the way through the F. So all of that is on the down bow. And then we're going to do an up bow on this D for 4 beats. And what you can do is there's a crescendo and a decrescendo on the D. So it has to get louder and then softer, all in one long bow. So if you use a slow bow at the beginning, and then a fast bow in the middle, and then a slow bow again at the end, you'll accomplish that. Okay, so that's the technique for that bow. All right, after that D, we're going to play eighth notes, D, E, F, and to do the F, we're going to go into fourth position. So your second finger is going to go up a half step, and then your fourth finger for the A. And that A can be played as a harmonic. A harmonic just means that you're going to touch the string without pressing it to the fingerboard. It's very, very light on the string, and it's important you can't let any of your other fingers touch the string when you're playing a harmonic. And if it's in tune, if your finger's in the right place, you get a very pure ringing sound. If it's in the wrong place, you'll get not a very good sound. So it's just a way of checking if your note is really on an A. And then once you know it's there, then I would encourage you to play this part not with a harmonic, because it's going to be helpful to have your fingers down for the notes that come after. So when we play these 4 notes, I would start by practicing it separate bows until you feel comfortable with the little shift there from 3rd position to 4th position, and also just to play it really in tune. And if you're adding vibrato, you can do that at this step. And once you're comfortable, then slur. Each note is slurred, or every 2 notes are slurred there. All right, now we're going to put it together from the beginning of the melody. Okay, so that's what we have so far. The next measure is going to stay right where we left off, so we're in 4th position. After that A, we're going to use our 3rd finger to play the G. And then we're going to shift our hand back into 3rd position. Really, we're just kind of crawling our way back to 3rd position by bringing our 2nd finger back to an E. And now we're in 3rd position. 3rd finger F. And now the 4th finger for the G that we just played with our 3rd finger a second ago. Back to E. And then the 1st finger is the D. So those notes are how the phrase ends. So by itself, starting on the 3rd finger again on the G, it sounds like this. Okay, and notice the slurs. All of that is on a down bow, up bow, and then the D is on a down bow. So back from the beginning of the melody, let's put all that together. Okay, so that's the first phrase. Now we're going to dive into the next part, and this next part is going to be similar but an octave lower. So first off, from the note we had just ended on, that D, we're going to do a glissando down to an open A. So what that means is we're going to slide down, and our first finger is going to slide. We're going to keep it pressed into the string, and we're going to slide it down all the way off of the fingerboard. And we leave our bow there for the open A. All right. So from there, okay, the bowing is 2 notes slurred. F and D, and then separate on A and D. Alright, so that measure. Okay, next measure. Sounds like that. So it starts on a G, and we're in first position on the D string. And then we go over to the G string on that A. Now in the next measure, we're going to play, our second finger was the last note we played, okay, on the D string. So it was that F. Now we're going to put our third finger right next to that, which would be on an F sharp. And then as soon as we start to play, we're going to slide that finger up to a G to get a little slide there. And then those next notes are all slurred together. And now right here we're going to play an A. But instead of playing on the D string with our fourth finger or an open A, we're going to shift back into third position and play it with our second finger. Now the reason for that is because after it we need to do another glissando down to an F. And so our second finger will be nice to go back into the first position for the F. So what we need to do is we need to practice shifting up into the A and then glissandoing back into the F. Okay? So if you want, you could practice it this way. You play an F on a down bow. At the end of the bow, you're going to do a light shift until you reach the A. Then play the A on an up bow, and then you're going to glissando down back to the F, all on the up bow. So it's like this. And you want to repeat that. So just to be clear, going up, the shift up, our finger is light on the string. Coming down, the finger stays in the string. Now once you've practiced that, and that might take several times, you might have to practice that 10 times, you might have to practice that 100 times. The importance is that your repetition is consistent and accurate every time. You don't have to do it fast. But once you have that, then you can put it together with the measure. So slide into the G. Okay? Alright, now going on, the next measure. This measure is all in one slur. So you have to have a very slow bow. We're going to hold a G for 2.5 beats. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and, but all in a down bow. Alright, let's put it together so far. So we're starting from the D that we ended on the first part. So remember when we had our first D glissando to open A? Okay, now we're going to add the next measure, open D, and then on the open A we're going to use the open string to shift back into third position to our first finger D. So again, and then our second finger E and our third finger F. So it sounds like this. Now that F is going to be 2.5 beats. So 1, 2, 3, and then we change. And when we change bow, we're going to slur the E and the F. Alright, and then we're going to do a D with our first finger. And we're going to do another glissando to the open A, just like we did the first time. The only difference now is the open A is going to be on a different bow. So down on the D, glissando on the down bow, and then when you reach the open A, take an up bow. All right, so let's put it together from the first D glissando. Okay, so that is the sort of the second part of the melody. So once you're comfortable there, we're going to move on. We've got really pretty much just one more section here to learn on this video. Sounds like this. I totally messed up those notes at the end. Sorry, let me try that again. Okay, try that again. Okay, so here we go. So, we're going to start from a D. We're in first position. And we're going to slur open A, F, open A. Try to keep your second finger on the F as you're going in between the open A's. If you're lifting it in between, it's likely going to not have a very clean sound. So leave it there. It means your finger will have to be really on its fingertip. All right, and then we're going to alternate notes between a D, or between D open A, E open A, F open A, G and open A. So the melodic line is D, E, F, G, and it ends on an A. But in between are open A's. Okay? And so there's also slurs you'll notice between every two notes. Now this A is 2.5 beats. 1, 2, 3. And you'll see the slurs after it. 1, 2, 3, down, up. And then we're going to end on an F. So, this part put together so far. Sounds like that. All right, we're ready to go on. So the next group of notes, F to D to A to F. Slurs by 2. Then we're going to add eighth notes. So it sounds like this. And now we're just going to add one beat worth of notes at a time. So the next 4 notes, G, open E, C, G on the D string, all slurred. Okay, so putting that together. And you can pause in between as much as you need to in this video. All right, and then we're going to add the next 4 notes, which is E on the D string, and then go to the G string for C, open G, C. Okay, so put that together. All right, now we're going to go E to C and G to E. So those 4 notes. The tricky thing here is hopping your third finger from the G string to the D string fast enough. Okay, so put that together now. The next four notes, C to G, E to C, and I would use your fourth finger to play the E, so you don't have to cross from the D string, hop over the E string, over the A string in order to get to the E string. Okay, so once you have these four notes, add that. Next four notes, F, D, A, F. All right, add that in. Okay, the next four notes, open D, A on the G string, back to open D, and then E. Keep your first finger down when you go back to the open D, and then you'll have to hop it over to the D string. So once you have that, you'll add that in. Now, this process that I'm walking you through, this may take days, okay? You might just add 4 notes a day, okay? One beat worth of notes at a time. And that's okay. You go at your own pace on this. Next 4 notes, open D to G string A, and then F to open D. Okay, adding it. All right, we're almost through. The last beat of notes, open A to F and D to A. You'll notice the pattern now is just 2 notes per slur. That actually started from the previous beat, and I forgot to mention it. So if I put those 2 beats together, it sounds like this. Notice that I'm only slurring 2 notes at a time. Now we put that back together. And once you have that, you've accomplished the hardest part. Okay, the next measure is super easy. Okay, it's just 4 quarter notes. And then the last measure of the whole video here today, it's really not hard despite when I messed it up earlier. It's because I'm reading the music off of my computer screen and it's very tiny, and my eyes are not sharp enough to see all those notes sometimes. So the notes, 4 notes at a time. Open D G string, open D A on the G string, open D E. Separate bows, and then a slur. And then F, open D, open A, F. So put that together. I'm trying to figure out which bowing. Okay, look, this starts down bow. Actually, I'm not sure on that bowing. Down, up, down, up, down. It starts up bow, sorry. Okay, so once you have that, now we're going to add 30-second notes. So the notes are doubled the speed of what we just played, because we're just playing 16th notes. So the notes aren't hard. It's open D 2 times, open A 2 times, and on those open strings we're going to shift to 3rd position. Our first finger goes on the A string for a D, hop it over to the E string to play the A, 4th finger on the E string for the D. And that last note is a quarter note. So those 30-second notes sound like this. Okay, now if we put that together from the 16th notes before it, Sounds like that. Alright? And that is it for this video. So again, that might take, depending on how much you're practicing and how comfortable you are with some of these techniques, that might take weeks. So don't be discouraged. Crystallize can be a project that takes months to really work out. So just go at your own pace and check out the next videos when you're ready for the next parts. Hope you enjoy playing the music.